Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing something I guess slightly different. I'm going to take a look back at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Leader Class Sentinel Prime figure. Now, this is on loan to me by you know, a good guy I know, another collector, Andrew. I appreciate him letting me take a look at it, and he gave me a challenge. The challenge is to look at this guy in, I guess, his, you know, complete state, transformation, the whole works in one take. And I heard the challenge and I said, ah, come on. How bad can it be? I mean, it can't be any worse than Universe Galvatron, right? Or Perceptor, because that thing was just terrible. Sentinel, are you laughing at me? Yes. Why are you laughing at me? Because I'm just terrible. You're calling yourself terrible. You got it. You'll see. Oh, okay. Oh no. What have I gotten myself into? Either way, I'm committed now. I said I'd do the challenge. So we're going to take a look at everything to do with this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check me out everywhere. Check out Machinery Man and the Everything Factor. We're going to get right into this guy. Yeah, okay, he's a little bit dated now. He looks beautiful on the shelf. But then the flaws start to come in. Before we go any further, here he is next to a modern day leader. That's Power Master Optimus Prime. And he's a bit bigger than Power Master Optimus Prime. I'll say this, the plastic feels good. He has obviously a lot of heft because of the backpack for the gimmick. He does not stand well because of it, because he's so top heavy. Here he is next to his updated Titans Return Voyager class version. I love this figure. To my shock and surprise, I like the color, nice easy transformation, looks like a Prime. But this isn't about this guy. It's about this guy. And he comes with a couple of weapons. I guess I'll talk about them briefly now. He comes with this double-bladed thing. It can, you know, fit in his hand. We open his fingers, and this thing can go in his hand, and he holds it okay. You see him already falling back. You know, he holds it all right. I'm not really sold on how functional it would actually be in combat, but hey, whatever. It's not about me, right? Here, we'll just lean him on his thing, because otherwise he's gonna fall over. And he comes with this shield. This shield has a peg here and a peg here and a peg down here. They can go into peg holes on his arms or mech tech ports. You can take it, and this front piece comes up like that, and then this splits, and this up here splits, and it's a, I don't really know what this is, a blaster shield thing combo. So we'll close all that up. It also has a handle that swings out. It can go in his hand. I'll put it in, but I'm going to tell you now, he doesn't hold it particularly secure. Like, he holds it okay, but it always sort of like falls around. You know, like, he can hold it, but and it's not going to fall out, but it's going to move around. So I don't do that. I put the handle in. I use this port up on his arm, and I use, well, this peg or this peg. Well, let's try this one for now. Let's try the other one. just for the sake of getting it in. And I put it on his arm like that, to be honest with you. I guess that could also count as like shield. His shoulder came unpegged. We'll talk about that in a bit too. I guess you could, you know, use that as storage if you don't want it in his hand. You can also take this thing out and fold it in half and come around to the back. Now, one thing that I do like is that his cape pieces flare way out back here. I think that that's so cool, and why some later movie figures that had capes didn't, or jackets, if you know who I'm talking about, didn't do this on hinges, I don't know, because this actually works really good. You can, however, put these two pieces together. Now you'll have to do that for transformation, and you can bring this up. And when you bring it up, there's actually a spot in here that this can tab over. Now, sometimes it wants to go on easily on that tab, sometimes it don't. Holy moly. There. Now that's where you store it when he's in his alt mode, but I mean you could also put it back there if you don't want it in his hand now. And it stores, you know, it stores fine back there now. This guy's covered in what they call MechTech ports. MechTech ports are basically 5mm pegs. He has a bunch of them. So rather than explain them, I'm gonna just stick a bunch of, you know, blasters and stuff in this guy to show where they all are. I will say this one up here on his shoulder and these two up right here are the only ones really visible in his truck mode. But these two up here, this one over here, you can probably see it has like silver inside. It's because there's another button in there that interacts with the gimmick. I'll show the gimmick now before I do that. If you push this gray button up on his shoulder, you get the sirens light, or the siren sound, and you get the lights light up. If you push this gold button on his chest, assuming that you have this transformed correctly, and I guess I don't quite have it transformed correctly, it should make him speak, and his eyes light up, and apparently his mouth moves, but I don't really see his mouth moving, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, now you don't want to do it again. You really need to have that transformed perfect. So, you know, it's whatever. I'm not a gimmick guy. If you know me, you know I'm not a gimmick guy. I don't care about that. You'll notice I'm holding on to him a lot because if I don't, he'll do this and fall back because of that heavy backpack with the battery pack in it. Now, MechTech ports. Okay, so you can use the screw holes on the inner wrist. So that's where we'll stick Starscream's null rays in there, because why not? I have them handy. Then on his outer arms, we'll actually let's see what we'll put on his outer arms. Here we'll put a Combiner Wars thing, blaster out on his outer arm here, and we'll put another Combiner Wars blaster over on this outer arm over here, or maybe we'll put a Generations one there. If it'll go in. There you go, that's 4 MechTech ports used. We'll take this one and we'll put it up on the shoulder there. We'll take one of Sentinel Prime's guns and put it on that shoulder there. Here we'll even face these out because why not. And the last two we'll put like Time to Return Blur's gun there, and we will take the other blaster of Sentinel Prime and put it in this slot up here. And listen, when you put something in this MechTech port up here, it changes the electronics in this guy. So you just heard like a deployment type of sound, I guess we'll call it. Now if you press this gray button up on his shoulder, I guess it's blaster fire, I suppose. And apparently in Canada, all he said was Sentinel Prime, and instead of saying I am Sentinel Prime. Now this guy was bought locally, and he actually has all of the electronics that are supposed to be in him. I don't know if he was mispackaged and shipped here by accident or what. Maybe it's a rarity here, I don't know. But here's what happens when you press the gold now. What just happened to the Allspark, and his eyes still lit up. Good to see you alive, Optimus. So you can see that this guy can get armored up better than almost anybody. So we'll take all of this off again. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk about his paint apps. He looks, like I said, he looks glorious on the shelf. Oh, and when you remove this one, by the way, before I do that, I should do this. When you remove this one and depress the button that's on his shoulder, you get this happen. You get that transformation sound. Anyway, paint apps. He looks beautiful on the shelf. He is the black, the silver, the red that Sentinel should be. However, I feel like there's a bit too much red. Those pieces on his chest aren't quite the right triangular shape. There should be more interplay between silver and red, and this red is a little bit maroony. It's no mistaking it's Sentinel Prime. He has a fantastic head sculpt, very, you know, movie-verse Sentinel Prime, but it's not perfect. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. It's great, it's no mistaking who it is, but it's not perfect to what was on screen, I guess. The gimmick, I don't dig it because it's not Sentinel's voice. We all know what Sentinel's voice is supposed to be like. We all know who voiced Sentinel by now, and this doesn't even sound human to me. It sounds like a very synthesized voice, I guess. So yeah, so an 8. Posability, playability. You would figure that a leader would have great posability, playability. Well, you know what? It's great that these wing pieces or cape pieces can all flail out. That's fantastic. The head goes left and right a little bit until it hits the collar right here. The eyebrows, I guess, are a little bit of that soft rubbery plastic. The head doesn't really go up or down, so that's a shame. The shoulders go all the way around. They can go out. There's about a... Oh, maybe I have that turned the wrong way. Maybe I don't. There's about a 90-degree elbow bend and a swivel, and the wrist swivel, and the fingers articulate. So that's cool. The thing is, the shoulders like to come on tab. There's only a little black tab in here, and there's a little piece on this gray piece right here that goes in over that. And that's the only thing that really locks the shoulders in place. It's not the strongest. The legs go out to the side that far. What do you want? Sentinel's old. The thigh swivels, the leg goes up, the knee bends that far. I don't think that's great. There is like ankle tilt, but the feet are so much of a mess that it's kind of limited. And even with the ankle tilt, it doesn't really help because, you know, the legs, I guess, go all the way out and all the way back. No waist articulation because of transformation. But you still need to, if you want him to stand, you really kind of need to have him kind of hunched over, and the downside of that is, well, a few downsides, but the biggest one is that his head can't angle up. What a shame. He rolls great, you know, in his truck mode, even though the front tires sometimes like to move a little bit and throw him off. Overall, he's good. He's not great. I'm going to give his posability, playability about a 7. About a 7, largely because he's so hard to stand, the knees are limited, the shoulders on tab, and in his vehicle mode, those front tires can sometimes move a little bit. We'll see that later on. So far he's getting a 7, and for posability, playability, that's being generous. Truth is, he should probably be more like a 5. You know what? We're going to give him a 5. We're going to give him a 5. His paint apps are an 8. Right now, this guy's scoring a 7. He is not a stellar figure so far. We're going to look at transformation next, and maybe that'll change everything, right? Because he'll be so intuitive and smooth, right? Please tell me he'll be intuitive and smooth. Okay, so every time I see a review of this guy, I see going from vehicle to robot. Why? Because that's easier. It's only a matter of kind of untabbing the pegs on the panels and then moving the panels around, kind of opening out the robot mode. Going from robot back into vehicle mode. That's where the true challenge comes in, folks. And he comes with, you know, he comes with instructions. They are not great as you'd expect, but I can't really blame them because there's so many little pieces on this that are so exact that it would be hard to capture all instructions. What I found myself doing, because I did use them as a reference, is saying, hey, you know what, my robot doesn't look like what's in the picture, and then trying to just manipulate pieces and move them around till it basically looked like what was in the picture. I should say this, I picked this guy up on September 9th, 2016. This is now being recorded on September 10th, 2016. I have no idea when you guys are looking at it. I've never handled him before. I have successfully transformed him twice. That's it. So doing this in one continuous shot, this is gonna be an adventure. This is gonna be an adventure. Whew. And I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so where do we start with this guy? Usually I say let's do the easiest stuff first. Guess what? There's nothing really easy about this guy. So these should be down if they're not. And this whole back piece should come up. We'll extend this out and bring the whole back piece up like this. It'll probably sound like it wants to crack. It won't. Even when you wish that it would, it won't. That's at a screen now. Don't worry about it because we'll deal with this a lot. And it'll probably flop around as we're doing the transformation. Okay, where do I want to go next? Okay, we're going to get the shoulders here out of the way next. You basically bring these arms up and out to the side, and you unpeg the shoulders. The trick to doing the shoulders, honestly, is turn that around because you want to have these pieces on the outside because they're going to be, you know, part of the side of the fire engine. And we'll do the same thing over here. We'll turn that shoulder, bring out that arm, and we'll start to bring this back a little bit. Now, I'm going to show this. There's a black armature here and a black armature here. They will swing around, and the shoulders, the gray panels here, are going to tab up right here and tab up right here on a couple little notches. So you bring the shoulder around, bring it down, bring the shoulder around, and you bring them up, and you hope that you can tab them in. You hope that you can tab them in. Ugh. There you go. I got one in, and I got the other in. They're probably going to come untabbed again, but this is basically how they should look. Now, I'm just going to swing these down out of the way and swing this down out of the way. The orientation that you want the arms is almost like this. See these black little sections here? They're going to be used later on to tab in to side panels. So you want to turn them out and turn them, you know, out to the side. And you want the fists to be positioned that the back of the fist is what's facing out toward what will be the side of the truck. And we just kind of leave these now flailing for now. Now we'll come to the front. Not the way everyone would do it, but I feel like if you can get the front secure, it makes life easier for you later on. So we're going to deal with the front now. You begin by basically bringing down these red sections. Bring down this whole red piece and let that fall away. You bring down the tire, you bring down the tire over here, and you bring this out to the side, and you bring this out to the side and bring down this gray piece. In other words, you kind of explode the front. Now the back is going to want to fall back. So you're going to want to have like your finger back here, kind of like this finger is on this hand. You're going to want that there in order to hold this piece up. Bring out the front bumper and bring out the windshield. And while you're at it, you might as well flip Sentinel's head down, flip it all the way down, and you'll know it's all the way down when the top of the roof piece here lines up with the rest of the roof, and it's all nice and flush and good and solid. Now, do this before you do anything else, because if you forget it, you're going to drive yourself nuts. In these little black sections on the side, there's a little black piece that flips out. It is soft rubbery plastic. It's probably, I'm thinking at some point, going to break off. If it doesn't, I'll be shocked. It doesn't feel any stronger than, say, the handlebars of deluxe class Generations wreck car. I think it was Generations. I don't think, maybe it was Universe. I'm not sure. But if you know that mold and you know what his handlebars are like, then you kind of know what these little pieces are like. Bring them out. If you don't, these pieces won't fit on the side properly, and you'll wonder why. Now, these pieces are on a black armature here. And you need to take this black armature and you need to swing it all the way to the back of that gray, that bigger gray arm. You come over here and you take this black armature and you swing it all the way to the back of that gray arm. Now, this is when things get tricky, because there are tabs on the top of this translucent windshield and tabs on the side. And the tabs on the side go into these two black pieces. The tabs on the top will go under the light bar, and then you will bring up the bumper to lock in the last piece. It is not fun. I find that you need to just basically kind of guide it up under the light bar. It's not really going to lock in per se, but kind of guide it up under the light bar if you can. Take the side pieces and bring them in. Take this side piece and bring it in. And why is this being such a nuisance to me? Oh, I'm sorry. Before you do that, open these and bring them out to the side. That will kind of let the back fall down here. And that makes life easier for doing this, actually. Not much easier for doing this, but a little easier. Okay, so put those two little pieces up under the light bar, and then you start to bring in the black pieces on the side. And hopefully they will lock in nicely. Just like that. And then there's a little black tab right here and a little black tab right here. You're going to bring the bumper up over those black tabs. You're going to have to kind of work it up over. And when you get it up, you sort of, once you got it up over, you should be able to sort of angle it back a little bit, because when you angle it back, you're looking to have, there's a little piece down here that goes into a little slot along the bumper, and you have that done. And then there's a little nozzle right here and you flip the little nozzle out just like that, a little fire nozzle, I guess. There was a piece on the back, a little like flap kind of down from his waist, a back skirt piece. That was this half and this half. I forgot to open them and bring them out to the side, but you should. Anyway, once you have all this done, you bring this up and there are two little starts right here. This kind of goes over them. I would not push too hard on that. Just kind of let it rest there, because if you push too hard on it, guess what? You're going to push this bumper out of position, and then all of this is kind of going to fall apart and be a nuisance, and you're not going to like it. Take this red section and fold it up. Leave these tires up for now. And fold those two red pieces in underneath and put the front tires in right there like that. And that's pretty much the front of them done. These pieces on the side for now, these, just leave them, because right now they're not really going to be able to offer you much help. Plus, the shoulder pieces are probably going to come out at some point, and you're only going to have to deal with it then anyway. So now we go down to the legs. Oh boy, are the legs fun? No, of course they're not fun. Very little with this transformation is fun. We come down here, and I guess you begin by opening up the whole front section of the leg here, like that. And you open up, maybe I should do this from the back. Maybe that's the easiest way to do this. Open out the whole front section like that. Next, there are 2 tires up on the inside of his legs. They will kind of naturally come down and around. It's a really weird hinge that I feel like I'm going to break, to be honest with you. Now, the nice thing is, if you don't want to do that and you're like me and think that you're going to break them, you can always bring these tires down, leave them there, and the leg will come around. You can just leave the 2 tires down. It really doesn't matter. They can stay just where they're to, and this is the back of the legs. You can see how this is going to go. This is going to be a side of the truck. This is going to be the side of the truck. If you haven't already, close these little leg panels here if you can. For some reason, mine don't want to close there at the moment. There. Close those like that. Obviously, these legs are going to go turned so that they're, you know, more in like this, and this one's going to go turned as well. Now you might say, wait, GotBot. What do you do with these arms? You got these arms, you got these legs. Well, this part is actually a little bit genius. You need to split the, I guess, front of the shin from the back of the shin. I can't call it the calf because where the tires are is really the calf. So the shin kind of splits into 2 pieces here. And you open it up like this. And this shin over here does the same thing and splits into 2 pieces. And you open them up. And you open them up. Now you need to take the fist and you put them in behind the shin. So we'll do that. We'll take this fist and put it in behind the shin. And we'll take this one and do the same thing and put it in behind the shin. And I just had a shoulder come, actually both my shoulders just came on tab. So guess what I need to do? I need to put that shoulder back up, and I need to put that shoulder back up. And you have these feet. In the end, they're just going to kind of cross over each other like that, and it looks really weird, and I don't particularly like it, but it is what it is. Get that piece up out of the way, get these over to the side. Get those legs kind of straightened up there. The biggest problem with this guy is that everything on him, again, likes to come untabbed. Like those shoulders, again, as easy as that. They don't... I think this transformation could have been a lot better if it wasn't for those shoulders. Anyway, you open out this red piece. You open out this black piece. You do the same over here. You open out this red piece. You open out this... if you can... this, you open up this black piece and this red piece. These now flip like this and flip like this. You can see how the back of this vehicle is going to come together. And truth is, if you laid him down now, you could actually roll him already. Now comes the fun of having to tab everything together. Fun. Okay, the first ones to probably get in position are these ones that are open now, that are part of a shin. There's a little black, I guess, space right there that goes over this black tab. And it should lock it, like the tab should lock in there. Now, trying to see this. trying to see that on camera in one take. Probably not going to happen, my friends. Probably not going to happen, but I have that one in, and my recording stopped on its own. This is not a second take. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did because I don't know why the recording stops on its own sometimes. I'm not really sure why my camera does that. Anyway, all I did was I took them off screen for just a second. I put this black tab into this little slot, put this black tab into this little slot. That's it, and his shoulders came untabbed, and I don't even have his shoulders tabbed back in yet. But I'll do that now. Again, you're probably noticing that you're gonna do this many times. Okay, so you got those two in. Then you need to start bringing this together here on the back, if you can. And this together here on the back. If you can. And then you bring the back together, and the back is, you have a couple of teeth here, you have a tooth here, all of this just sort of pegs together. You got 1 foot above the other. It's kind of a lazy way to do the feet, I think, but whatever, I'm not the designer and I didn't come up with the transformation. And here's the other thing, you're going to want to make sure that it's straight, which is another pain with this guy. Okay, so we got those ones in. Well, we kind of got those ones in. And now you do these ones, the ones that were on his shoulders. You need to start to put those in. And really there's no easy way to do this, folks. Wish I could tell you different, but there's just not. You basically just need to start pushing stuff together. There are, I mean, like there's a peg here and a hole here, and there's a couple of holes on the black piece and pegs here. It's all supposed to go in nice. You know, there is a logic to it, but does it all go in nice? No, not really. There, all that's tabbed in. That's tabbed in. That black piece, is that tabbed in? That's tabbed in. That side's tabbed in. Nope, not quite. Not quite. All that is tabbed in. All that looks straight by my eye. But if you know me, you know that that's not gonna mean that it's straight, trust me. That and that. And here's the problem, like as you're doing these panels, like they like to come apart from each other. This is normally where I would do, that even came off of the spot on his arm. Grand. This is normally where I would probably like, you know, do a cut and come back with it all tabbed together, but that's not the challenge that I was given. You all get to experience the joy of seeing this guy. Okay, so I laid him on the side, and that seemed to, the tires underneath aren't straight. That's part of the problem. How could I ever expect this guy to tab in properly? Anybody who tells you that this is, you know, a great toy and a fun transformation, don't believe them. It's not a great toy with a fun transformation. It is... honestly, it is just plain not that enjoyable. It really, 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 really isn't. And I moved that arm, probably one of the multiple times that it popped out. I was so close to having this done too. A lot of what throws off the transformation is the terrible way that those feet are done. Terrible, terrible way that those feet are done. Now we'll tab all of that together, if it will stay together, and we bring this down. And this should tab in like along the whole side of the truck, and it really doesn't. And tab it in there, if I can. Boy, this guy does not like to stay tabbed together at all. At all. What a mess. Don't get this Sentinel. If you want a Sentinel, don't get this. It's not a good Sentinel Prime. But in the end, there you go. And he rolls great. He rolls great, he looks great. And truth is, he's solid when he's together. Now, well, except for this, it's popping up on me right now, but normally that stays in there too. Why it's not now on camera, I don't know. But normally that does stay in there, and he is solid when he's done. Now there is another mode, I suppose, for this guy. But before I do that, I already told you where the sword goes stored, the shield. The shield actually has, see if I can find it here. Okay, the shield actually has a couple of tabs up right here. And if you go to the bottom of this guy, there are spaces on the legs, and this can basically tab on the spaces on the legs underneath like that. It does kind of hang up, I find, a little bit. It's probably supposed to clear it. My guess is it hangs up because of the fiddliness of this guy's transformation. If you do it absolutely perfect, then yeah, okay, it's probably not quite gonna hang up, but it does a little bit. I gotta be, well, actually it's not too bad there. Hanging up a little bit. He still rolls, but hanging up a little bit. Take that off, and we'll do his battle mode, I guess. To do that, you untab this side, you untab the roof, and you untab this side, and they come down, and then you untab the back there, and you untab this here, and you swing out a little gray nozzle, I suppose, a couple of gray nozzles right there. That you know, you bring this back down, you have the gray nozzles there. What a terrible figure. This, you turn it around and you bring it back and down. For now, you open out the shield piece the way I showed you earlier with that mech tech gimmick thing. Here, we'll get this out of the way for now. You bring this in, and when you bring this in, there's a little, I guess we'll call it a peg on the roof, and a little slot right there, and this goes on. Oh, put these down. Or is the little slot right there? Oh no, the little slot's on the back. Sorry, the little slot is back here, and you take that and you put it over the little peg. Take that and you put it over the... You take these things that look like a pair of scissors and you put it... By the way, not only do you put it over that, but the two MechTech holes up here, you put these pegs into the two MechTech holes on the top of the truck. Maybe that's the easiest way to guide it, to be honest with you. Here we put that one in there. We'll put that one in there. And we reach up underneath and we take that double-bladed sword thing that I totally had forgotten about, to be honest with you. We open that out, and when you open it out, there are two little slots on the handle, the hilt, and they will go onto two little pegs up here on the shield. Like that. And then, last but not least, let me adjust this. Last but not least, you take this thing, you turn it around, and you bring it down over. Oh, and I knocked that off. And you bring it down over like that. And this is Sentinel in his battle mode thing. I don't... his transformation is pretty solid in robot mode. Even though he can't stand up well because of the heaviness, it's pretty solid if you can get him in truck mode. But there's so many panels. So many. Too many panels. And again, I guess he's as solid as he can be in this mode. He rolls well, but sometimes these little front tires will turn out to the side. You know, not both of them turning over that way because they both can't, but one will turn out to the side and the rolling is off a bit. But yeah, like I said, he's solid. It's just getting between modes is not the greatest. I'm gonna give... I don't have fun transforming this guy. Maybe you do. I don't have fun transforming this guy. There are people who have said that this guy gotta be part of your collection. I don't think he does. Unless you really do like, you know, the intricate, complex transformations. Then yeah, get him for sure. He will fit that bill, no problem. If you like something that is more intuitive and fluid, this guy is not going to be for you. I personally give his transformation about a 6. About a 6. It's okay in the modes. It's not fun getting there. Overall, this guy is he's about a 7.5. You know, he's okay. He's nothing to get excited about. He's a 7, 7.5. He's nothing to get excited about, in my personal opinion. I know people that have given this guy like a 9, a 9.5 because they absolutely love him. And hey, if that's your deal and you adore this guy, go for it. That's the fun of having all of these different figures and different options. For me, for my sensibilities of Sentinel Prime, I'm going to stick with this guy. Just because I prefer way more. Anyway, that's it. We did it in one take, except for where the camera stopped recording for a second. Sorry about that, but like I said, nothing was missed there. What can I say? This was an experience, and I thank Andrew for letting me do it. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you for dropping by, having a visit with me, spending a little bit of time, and I certainly look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.